Welcome back. Going higher and higher. Hello. Sorry to disturb your meal. Oh, shit.
Only one.
Very well.
Okay. It's
Speaking
dead. Finally. 2 constitution.
We're
Right.
here. We've surely missed.
No shit, Alistair.
The signal. Let's light it quickly before it's too late.
Right. Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
Bye-bye. Good riddance. To you both, actually. You too, Duncan. If anyone was honestly surprised by Loghain's retreat, betrayal, what most people call it, and I say this, abandoning your idiotic king on the battlefield is not...
Your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
Yeah, fine, let me just talk here. Loghain's retreat, I was not surprised by that one bit. It's obvious he's gonna do something. I don't consider it a betrayal to abandon your idiotic king when he's essentially surrounded by his enemies. Do you think Loghain's charge would have saved Cailan? No. This is something actually that David Gator talked about. I mean, you see the cinematic, you see Loghain's troops pulling out, blah blah blah. But then the cinematic fades, goes to the battle in the valley, and Cailan's line is broken. His men are surrounded. A flanking attack is not gonna save Cailan, nor would it save the remnants of his force. Nor Duncan. So, yeah. Anyway. And you have to be a dumbass to not have seen it coming, really. Because it's so bloody obvious. It's like a glorious moment for us all. What the hell did you think he was gonna do, really? What happened to the Darkspawn?
You were injured, and then Mother rescued you. Do you not remember?
Wait, what happened to the army, to the king?
The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
What happened to the Grey Wardens and the king?
All dead. Your friend has veered between denial and grief since Mother told him. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
I have some questions, if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Are we safe here? Where are the Darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the Darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The Horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
Why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
I happen to be of royal blood, you know.
Yet now you are a surface dwarf. My king's ransom might be a long time coming.
How did she manage to rescue us exactly?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
Are there any survivors beside us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Why did Terran Loghain abandon the king?
I do not know who this Loghain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
Yeah.
You must speak to Mother, then be gone. You have an army of Darkspawn to avoid, and 'twould be best to get an early start.
Thank you for helping me, Morrigan.
You were welcome. Though Mother did most of the work, I am no healer. I will stay and make something to eat.
Okay. Alistair.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
I'm not. Thanks to Morrigan's mother.
Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
So why did you save us?
Well, we cannot have all the Grey Wardens dying at once, can we? Someone has to deal with these Darkspawn. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
You know, there are still Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden. There are Wardens in the Free Marches, Orlais, Nevarra, Tevinter, the Anderfells, Loghain. I could go on. Antiva. It changed when most of them were slaughtered.
If you think small numbers make you helpless, you are already defeated.
But we were fighting the Darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them. Why would Loghain do this?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The archdemon.
Yeah, well, tell me something, Alistair. Were you able to actually see the battle? I saw the cinematic and I wouldn't call that winning. What is this archdemon exactly?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by Darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
I like you more and more, Flemeth. I actually didn't remember that quote. Yeah, only fools ignore history. You heard it right there. If only you would actually understand that quote, Bioware, that you actually wrote. Because you do ignore history. Anyway, I'm not gonna call it betrayal. We should contact the rest of the Grey Wardens.
Cailan already summoned them. They'll come if they can, but I expect Loghain has already taken steps to stop them. We must assume they won't arrive in time.
Bloody hell.
The throne? He's the Queen's father. Still, I can't see how he'll get away with murder.
You speak as if he would be the first king to gain his throne that way. Grow up, boy.
If Al-Eamon knew what he did, he would never stand for it. The Landsmeet would never stand for it. There would be civil war.
You sound like you want that. You think the Earl would believe us over the turn?
I suppose. Al-Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Cailan's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
Surely there are other allies we could call on.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I
Obligated.
may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Al-Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
Okay. Because just because you have a piece of paper doesn't mean anyone will follow you. I doubt it will be as easy as that, Alistair.
And when is it ever?
It's always been the Grey Warden's duty to stand against a blight. And right now, we're the Grey Wardens.
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
As ready as we'll ever be.
Now, before you go, there is yet one more thing I can offer you.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Very well. We'll take her with us.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these 2 must unite for Eldon against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
I understand.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. 'Tis not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
Actually, I have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
Are you really Flemeth's daughter? You know, Flemeth is just 2 feet away, but whatever.
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
It's just difficult to imagine her...
Young, married, pregnant. Who said she was any of these things? I certainly did not.
Have you ever been outside the wilds?
From time to time. I have been to the village I mentioned. watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
Is that what you want?
What I want is to see mountains. I wish to witness the ocean and step into its waters. I want to experience a city rather than see it in my mind. So, yes, this is what I want. Actually, leaving is harder than I thought, however. Perhaps Mother is right. It must simply be done quickly.
Tell me about this village to the north.
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Loghain. No more than a stop along your imperial highway where travelers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
Is there any reason to go to Loghain then?
I mention it for its tavern, where travelers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
How are we going to get past the Darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
That's not reassuring, Alistair.
We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
The Darkspawn are camped farther in the forest?
They come from underground, like an eruption. They broke through deep within the forest, and that is where they will be most concentrated.
What skills do you have exactly?
I know a few spells, though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Yeah. Still, it's a good question. I mean, you do need someone to cook. Doesn't have to be her, though. I can cook. Never mind him. You don't have to cook.
You missed your chance. Now it's charred rabbit from here on out.
I'll cook. Alistair, shut up. Yeah, I know how to fucking cook. Though I don't know that many recipes. The ones I do, well, I do know them well.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Yeah. Flemeth?
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
You could come with us, you know.
I prefer to remain here. Considering what the world has done to me, I have already done more than it deserves.
And what has the world done to you?
That is between the world and me. Your business is elsewhere.
But you're more powerful than we are, you know, magic and all that.
It is not a matter of power. No one person in all of Thedas has enough power to stand against a blight. Were that the case, sending you two would be quite the jest. What is important is that you are both Grey Wardens. Your task is to unite the land, inspire its men, and turn them from their petty politics to face the archdemon. In that, you are more powerful than I by far. I am but an old woman whom the world has largely forgotten.
Could you answer some questions?
Questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
One would think a Grey Warden would use his intelligence rather than his bloody sword. Just saying. Can I ask about your magic?
What good would it do you? You are no mage. It is sufficient that I have passed on my knowledge to Morrigan, and I pass her on to you.
Like a worn dress or an old pair of shoes.
Are you still here? You cannot give them away, apparently.
How long have you lived in the wilds?
Since before I was wrinkled and old. Ah, you may think it strange, but I was once young and beautiful, just as Morrigan is now. Yes, men desired Flemeth then, and some even killed for her.
That must have been a long time ago.
You will need that smart mouth for more than asking me silly questions.
Yeah. What will you do once we're gone?
Have a moment's peace for once.
I hear the peace of the grave is eternal.
This is the thanks I get for feeding you and putting up with you for this long. Bah! May your child one day treat you the same.
Feed me, she says. Without me, I swear, she shall be caked in dirt and eating tree bark inside of a month.
Do you have any advice?
About the Darkspawn?
Yes.
Only that they are more cunning than they appear. More important by far is the Archdemon. It is the core of this taint, and while it lives, so does the Blight. This Tairn Loghain is different. You must deal with the repercussions of his deeds before you can face the Archdemon, unless it finds you first.
No, defeating a blight requires the death of an archdemon. In that situation, one person is enough to actually end the blight. Just one person, if they're lucky, good enough, and lucky enough to actually get close in to kill it. Just saying.
Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
Yeah, goodbye. Essentially. Let me get some more willpower. One more point in strength. Expert coercion. Yeah. I'll need a lot more strength for assault. Anyway, Alistair. Get this. $25 strength. Sorry, mouse problems. I'm gonna get overpower on him. As for Morrigan, well, willpower, magic. Let me just get this up to 30. Well, let's just go 27. Good. Okay, need more cunning for that. Well, actually, yeah, I do need someone. I do need an herbalist and get that level 2. Even though she says she's not a healer, that's how I'm gonna build her. I do need a healer. Yeah, weakness. I'm not gonna get paralyzed. Cone of Cold. Well, Cone of Cold is actually useful, so get that. The shape-shifting abilities themselves are kind of useless, so I'm not gonna focus on that. And get Drain Life. Like, thing is with Morrigan. There's a certain advantage to the fact that she's a shapeshifter. Anyway.
The time has come to leave the wilds. Do you not agree?
Yep. Leave the bird alone. And this is used to respec. Okay, pausing the video right here. Costin, signing out.